right, welcome to the first official gameplay video for On Deck Baseball. We're going to consider this kind of like the pregame. We're going to go over a little bit. I thought it would be a good idea to go over a little bit of the starting pitchers and the contrast between the two, the differences that may play into the game. So starting for the Drillers, we have Manuel Alvarez. He is actually their ace. He's a pretty good pitcher. He's pretty dominant. He's got some power attributes, so he's a pretty good strikeout pitcher. He's very good against the right-handed batters when you're playing the pro or advanced version. Left-handers can get a little bit on him. He does throw right-handed. His stamina is a 5, which means he can go 5 innings before he starts encountering the possibility to decrease his overall attributes due to fatigue. His endurance is pretty high, so that means once he does reach the max innings that he may actually be able to continue to pitch without decreasing his overall stats. Poise is a 3, so if he gets rocked a little bit, he has a good chance of kind of getting through it without getting too rattled. 3, everything over here is the highest number you could have is a 5, so he's in the middle there. Yates, on the other hand, he is the Knights' number 3 starter. He also throws righty. He also has a stamina of 5, which means that his max innings before decreasing ratings will be 5. His endurance, however, is a 1, so that means that he's not going to have as great a chance at advancing innings without decreasing his overall performance. His poise is a 1, so if he gets rattled by the Drillers' offense, there is a good chance that he'll get a little shaken on the mound and the possibility that he'll give up more runs. Using the pro version, we are doing the lefty-righty splits. So against the right-handed batters, he's pretty good. He's a -4. Against the lefties, though, he is a -3. So really between the two of them, for Alvarez and Yates, the right-handed attribute for Alvarez is better than Yates, but their left-handed is about the same. Yates is not a power pitcher, so he's not going to get a lot of strikeouts. He is pretty accurate. He won't give a lot of walks, but you'll see Alvarez is a 5 in power and accuracy, so he's going to get more strikeouts and walks, obviously. A little bit more performance for accuracy as far as giving up the walk. Fly balls, they're both pretty good. Alvarez is a 3, so that's middle grade. He'll give up a few fly balls, but not many. Yates is better with the 4. He'll give up a few fly balls as well, depending if it's off of the pitcher's card, a home run, dependent on the batter's power. And hopefully we'll encounter some of that during the game. So that's the difference in the pitchers. You could tell that Alvarez is indeed an ace. He is the number 1 starter for the Drillers. His value is 87 compared to Yates, who's the number 3 starter, who is a 60. We are going to be playing this game at the pro version, so we are going to use the lefty-righty splits like I talked about. Some of the other things also, if we do encounter an injury in the game, the pro, it just goes off of the recovery for it. It doesn't incorporate any of the arms, legs, back, or those kinds of ratings. That is a little bit into the pro version. The advanced version is not that much different from the pro version. That's why I chose to go with the pro version. The basic version of the game, you do not use lefty-righty splits. You only use the pitching attribute. It's a very basic version of it, but the pro is kind of like the very more compatible with what I think our community is interested in. So those are the pitchers. I have made out the scorecards. I do kind of want to go over that a little bit. So you will get these score sheets with the base set. There will be a pad that incorporates it. I've already made out one for the Drillers and the Knights. Typical to most score sheets, you do fill out the position, the lineup, and then over here we have the ratings. So I'm going to take Tommy Alcova over here so we can see what we're filling out and what will be used mostly during the game. So H stands for how he hits. He's a righty under bats. The lefty-righty is for the splits. He is a 3 against a lefty, 3 against a righty, so you see a 3-3. Fielding is this attribute here. He's a -5, so the 5 there. His arm is a 2. His speed overall is a 5. His jump off the pitcher is a 2. and his on-base instincts is a 2. All right, so the speed is going to be used in advancing bases and getting steals, similar situations like that. The jump is how he gets a jump off of the pitcher, whether or not he's going to attempt the steal. And the on-base instincts is used in cases where he may get doubled up on a line out, situations like that. So that's how I scored that out. These are the most commonly used attributes during the game, so that's why I put those on the score sheet to have a quick reference and you don't have to spill over all the cards. Quick going into the back, you'll see that this is the batting matrix. There is one on the pitchers as well. Your confrontation between the pitcher attribute and the hitter's attribute will determine whether or not it's going to be off the pitcher's card or the batter's card. The matrix here shows that these are the possibilities that he has for an at-bat. So you'll see walks, singles, doubles, triples, home runs, strikeouts, groundouts. The K obviously for strikeout, the G for groundout, L for lineout, P is for pop-out, and F is for flyout. For base runner advancement, pop-outs, base runners cannot advance. On a flyout, you can have the possibility of tagging. Ground-outs, obviously depending on the fielder that it's hit to and where the base runner is on what base, whether or not he will advance. Strikeouts, obviously just a strikeout. Walks, pretty much all this is self-explanatory for anybody who knows the game of baseball. The outs chart here, if you get a ground out on the matrix, you simply roll on the ground out chart, on the out chart, and whatever die you get is where the ball goes to. Now, what this allows for is the part of the field, whether the guy is a pull hitter or he can hit opposite field, whether he's a spray hitter. This is going to attribute to that. They have 10 possibilities for different positions. If he hits mostly to the left side, most of these possibilities will go to the left side, left field, possibly center field, third base, shortstop. There will be obviously some times where he goes over to the right side, but this is going to tell you what part of the field the hitter hits the most. These are the running charts here. It pretty much tells you exactly what is going on here. The top one is if you're stealing second base, sack, bunt, runner, or risk home run or risk home plate. I use the home run designation for home plate. What risk is, and that's something that is more in play in the advanced version, but it will be for tagging to home, and a couple other areas as well. The one below it is stealing third base, risk third, which would be tagging for third base, sack, bunt, hitter. These two top attributes, negating the risk part, but the stealing, sack, bunt, stealing, and sack, bunt, hitter are going to go off of the arms of the defensive player. And we'll get into a little bit with the action during the game. The bottom two are for your double play, second base or third base, your risk at second base, which doesn't happen too much or too often when you're tagging, but there are other advanced situations that will come into play. And then your double play at first base, this is when you're rolling to see if the out is made at second and first place to complete the double play. Now, these are going to go off of the fielding ratings for the fielder. So it's a little bit different. The risk attributes will be shown whether or not you're going to be taking the arm into account or the fielding into account. Fielding errors, you have your primary position here and your secondary position. If you roll an error on the matrix, you're going to roll to see what type of error was made. Then you're going to roll onto the, if it was a ground ball error, you roll on the G chart to find out where it went. And then you're going to find that fielder and roll to see whether or not it's an error. Catchers, infielders, and outfielders all have different possibilities for errors. Some may be one base errors, two base errors. You'll see that in the frown face in the green will be an error, but a happy face in the blue will mean that no error was made. So that will take into the fielding attribute for each player. Again, it is split into primary position and secondary position. Typically, your secondary position will not be as good as your primary position, so that takes into account if the player is playing out of position or not. Here we have quick reference on the player's attributes. We have the lefty-righty splits, his power, the gap, which attributes to extra base hits, his bunt, defensive ratings, and his base running ratings. The pitcher, we have a similar offensive matrix. If you roll and you get a pitcher's card, that's the matrix that you will refer to. We have the same fielding errors chart, which is the primary position will always be pitcher for pitchers. The poise chart, which is if the 3 runs are scored on the pitcher, you're going to roll on this to see if he's rattled or if he maintains his composure on the mound. This is the fatigue chart. And what this does is after you reach your max innings, Alvarez stamina is 5. So after you reach your 5 innings during the game, you're going to roll on the fatigue chart. This is 1 inning going into the 6th inning, which is 1 inning past his max. This will be 2 innings past his max, 3, 4, and 5. So if he's going into the 6th inning, you have to roll here. NC is no change. So basically you want to get a blue in either of these columns. A yellow is typically 1 off of his pitching ability, and in reddish orange is a -2 off of his pitching ability. And what that means is if you roll a -1 off his pitching ability, his versus left-handed batter will go down to a -2. His versus right-handed batter will go down to a -4, which will give the opportunity to the batter to get more batter's cards. If you roll these during the course of the game, you'd say you get into 3rd inning past his max, so he's trying to get into the 8th, and you roll a -2, he's down to a -1, -3. If you try and go into the next inning and he rolls a -1, that will bring his left-handed batter to a 0. Anytime either one of these numbers reaches 0, the pitcher has to come out of the game. He's run his limit, and he can no longer progress in the game. So there's a quick description of the backs for the batter and the pitcher. We also went over a comparison for the pitchers. So with all that done, we also went over the scorecards. With all that done, we're going to get set up and start playing a game here. Just real quick, wanted to give out a quick shout out to Michigan and Trumbull for this fantastic dice box that I'll be using for this gameplay video. I know my rig's getting in the way here, but I've used it for a few games so far, and it's really amazing. The padding creates it to a very nice, quiet effect. You don't have too much rolling to keep the kids up. It doesn't bother the wife all that much either, and it looks fantastic. Customized it for me, put my game logo on there, and I'm really having a lot of fun playing with it. They have a Facebook page, Michigan Trumbull 1901 for Facebook, so look that up. Definitely take a look into getting one if you are a cards and dice baseball player. It's great to work with, and I really love the stadium look. So thanks again, and I really appreciate you doing that for me. Fully customized and just a fantastic product. All right, so we're heading into the top of the 1st inning. The Drillers are going to be leading off in this exhibition game of on-deck baseball. And we're going to start with Sergio Perez, the leadoff hitter for the Drillers. Again, we're playing the pro version. So Sergio bats righty against a righty pitcher. So against a righty pitcher, he is a 3. Yates against a righty hitter is a -4. So for that, we are going to have a -1 on a roll. Now, if the roll with the -1 is 6 or above, it will be a batter's card. And with the -1, if it is 5 or below, it will be a pitcher's card. So we have a 6 minus the 1 is 5, so it is going to be a pitcher's card. We're going to roll that. It is a 5-2, and a 5-2 is a strikeout. So Sergio Perez does not start off the game very well, and he strikes out to lead the game. Dave Schultz will be the next batter up for the Drillers. Against a righty pitcher, he is a 4. Again, Yates against, he is a lefty, Schultz. So against a righty pitcher, he is a 4. Yates against a lefty hitter is a -3, so it is going to be a +1 in the batter's favor. And that is going to be an 8 for a batter's card. And it is a 3-2. 3-2 is another strikeout. So Schultz is going to strike out for 2 strikeouts in a row It's funny because I said Yates is not a strikeout pitcher at the pregame. All right, McPherson will be the third hitter up for the Drillers. He is a righty. Yates again is a righty, so it is going to be a +3 against a -4, which is a -1 on the roll. A -1 against a 9 is an 8. That is 6 or higher, so it will be a batter's card. And it is a 4-2. 4-2 is a strikeout. So Yates strikes out the side to start the game. Interestingly, in the instructions for the game, if you strike out the side, you get an increase in your overall pitching ability. So with that, Yates will become a -5 and a -4. So a -4 against lefties, a -5 against righties. And where I typically write that is on the back of the score sheet. This is where we have all the pitcher's information written in. We're going to do a little +1 over fatigue points. And that means that he got an increase on his ratings. So we're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. Tommy Alcova is going to be leading off. He is a righty against a righty pitcher. So he is a 3 against a righty pitcher. And Manuel Alvarez is a -5 against the righty batter. So that is a -2 on the roll. So 5 - 2 is 3. That is going to be a pitcher's card. A 9-8. So we have a blue 9 and a red 8. And that is a base hit. So Alcova leads off with a base hit. Now I'm going to do a steal-in mechanic since I have the leadoff man on first base, so I can show you how that works. Using the pro version, we are going to do the jump against the hold runners, and it's done similarly to the batter-pitcher confrontation. Alcova is a 2 on a jump. Alvarez is a -3 holding runners. So again, anything 6 or above, he'll be able to attempt a steal. 5 or below, and Alvarez will hold him to the base. So it is a 1. He is not going to go. You can only attempt the steal using that mechanic once per at-bat, so he won't be able to attempt another at-bat unless they advance to a different hitter. Which in this case, the hitter is Gabriel. George Gabriel will be a second hitter for the Knights. Gabriel is a righty against a righty pitcher. So he is a 3 against a -5, so there's a -2 on the roll. That is going to be a pitcher's card. Red 8 against a blue 5 is a flyout. So to find out where the flyout went, we're going to take the batter's card and we're going to check the flyout column. And that is a 9, so it is a flyout to the center fielder. Alcova will not advance and try to tag the second. Callahan, the first baseman, is up. He's a 4 against a righty. Manuel Alvarez is a -5 against a righty batter, so it's a -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. So it is a 9-3, which a blue 9, red 3 is a walk. So Callahan will get to first base via the walk. Alcova will advance to second due to the walk of Callahan. So now we have the cleanup hitter for the Knights up, which is Garland. Garland is a lefty. Alvarez against a lefty is a -3. Garland against a righty pitcher is a 5. So it's a +2 on a roll. 2 + 9 is 11, which is 6 or higher. So it is a batter's card. 5-1 is a flyout. So he got a hold of one, but he flew out. We're going to see where that flyout went. Flyout 2 on a column, so it's a flyout to center field. Now, technically, I could see if I wanted to tag to third base with Alcova, but being it's the first inning, I'm going to try and get a few more at-bats. Valenzuela is up against a righty pitcher. He is a 3 against a righty hitter. Alvarez is a -5, so it's a -2 on the roll. So that would be a 3 on the confrontation, which is a pitcher's card. So it is a 6-5. 6-5 is a flyout. So another flyout for Valenzuela will be to the left fielder. So a little bit of offense there. No runs scored. So no runs scored in the first inning. We're going to head into the second. And Haggerty, the Drillers' cleanup hitter, is up. Now remember, Yates struck out the side. He had an increase on his abilities. So he's now a -4, -5. That's a -4 against lefties and a -5 against righties. So now Haggerty is a lefty. Yates is a -4 against lefties. And Haggerty is a +5 against a righty pitcher. So it is a +1 on a roll. That will equal to 7, which is 6 or higher. It will be a batter's card. And 9-4. Haggerty will draw the walk. Reed is a switch hitter. So with the righty pitching, he'll be batting lefty. Yates is a -4 now against the lefties, and against the righty pitcher, Reed is a 4. So that's equal on the roll. So that is 5 or below, a 3. So that is a pitcher's card. We have an 8-7, which is going to be a ground out. So we have the possibility for a double play here. So we have to find out where the ground ball goes. So for that, we're going to flip over Reed's card, reference his ground out chart. The ground out is going to 7, which is the third baseman. On the Knights, we're going to find the third baseman, which is Torres. And Torres is a 2 fielding. So a 2 fielding on Haggerty trying to advance to second. We reference this chart. So we go to the 2 fielding, and these are his possibilities here. So he is very slow. He only has a chance at a 1 at making it to second. And he gets a 2. He is thrown out at second on a 5-4. Now the second baseman is Alcova. He is a 5 on Reed trying to make it to first base. He doesn't have that many possibilities. He is slow as well, so he'll need a 1 or a 6 to make it to first. And it is a 9. So the Knights turn a double play, 5-4-3. And there are now 2 outs. Morales is up. He is a 3 against a righty. Yates is now a -5 against right-handed batters, so it's a -2 on a confrontation roll. That is below 1, so it is 5 or below. It is a pitcher's card. And a 7-2 on the pitcher's card is a ground out. And we will find out where the ground out goes. 9 goes to the third baseman. So it is a 5-3. And the Drillers do not score any runs. The Knights are up for the bottom of the second. Okay, so leading off, the bottom of the second for the Knights is Torres. Torres is a righty. Against a right-handed pitcher, he is a 2. Manuel Alvarez is a -5, so it's a -3 on the roll. That goes down to a 4. It becomes a pitcher's card. 8-4 is a pop-out. Find out where that pop-out went. 2 on the pop-out chart. And it's pop out to the third baseman. Rowe is up. It's a -1 on the confrontation roll. It's a batter's card. 8-1 is a flyout. To 9, flyout to the center fielder. Lyle Good is up. He's a center fielder for the Knights. He is a 2 against a righty. -5 against a righty batter is a -3 on the roll. Oh, I lost my die. And then it's a -3 on the roll. Batter's card for Lyle Good. A 10-6 is a base hit. So Lyle Good gets on base with 2 out. Tucker. For those that you don't know, the Knights are my team in the league that we have. Tucker is one of my favorite players. I don't know why. He's not a great hitter, but when he gets on base, he can steal bases and he can score some runs. He's not even that good defensively in the outfield, so he's actually the DH in this game as well as on my team. So, I don't know. He's just one of my favorite players for some reason. All right, so he is a switch hitter, so he'll be batting lefty. Alvarez is a -3 against a lefty. Tucker is a 3 against a right-handed pitcher, so it's even on a confrontation roll. And that is a pitcher's card. And a 7-2. And that is a ground out. We just got to find out where the ground out went to. And the ground out goes to third base. So 5-3. And the Knights are out. And I wish I could say that that isn't a common thing for Tucker to do, but it pretty much is. He passes about probably 220 in my league. All right. So we have the Drillers in the top of the third. Nelson leading off against Yates. Again, Yates is now a -4 against the lefty, -5 against the righty due to that attribute increase. Nelson is a 3 against righties, so it's going to be a -2 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 10-1 is a flyout. 2-10, which is going to be the left fielder. Miranda is now up. He is a lefty, so it's going to be a -4 against a 4, which is equal in the confrontation. Going to be a pitcher's card. And that is a 8-2 on the pitcher's card. Red 8, blue 2, which is a ground out. We're going to find out where that ground ball went. And it is a ground out to the pitcher. So 1-3. Vincent Melendez is up. He is a switch hitter, so he will be batting lefty. So it's a -4 against a 3, so it's a -1 on the roll. That is going to be a pitcher's card. So it is a red 7, blue 5, which is a flyout. Flyout to 6 is going to be a flyout to the center fielder. All right, we head into the bottom of the third inning so far with a pretty good pitcher's duel. Yates is sticking around with Alvarez, which the number 3 against the ace, that's pretty good. Definitely those 3 strikeouts in the first inning definitely helped improve his performance. All right, so we have the top of the lineup for the Knights. Alcova is the hitter. It is a righty versus righty, so it's going to be a -2 on the roll. That is going to be a pitcher's card because 7 - 2 is 5. 9-2 is a walk. So Alcova doing his job as a leadoff hitter, getting on base. Getting on base 2 times and 2 at-bats. And we're going to attempt that steal one more time, see if we can do it. So it's a jump is a 2. Hold runners is a -3, so it's a -1 on the roll. It is a 4. He does not get the lead, does not get the jump, and he does not get to attempt to steal. So when you're building your lineups, you want to make sure that if you have a leadoff hitter, that his jump is just as good as his speed. It does play into the game on the pro version. Playing the basic version, the jump is not incorporated into that game, so you just use the speed against the catcher's arm to see if he steals a base or not. But pro and advanced both use the jump mechanic. All right, Gabriel is up. Again, righty against righty. It's a -2 on the roll. Going to be a pitcher's card. 5-1. It's going to be a strikeout. So Gabriel strikes out. Callahan is up. It's going to be a -1 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 7-6 is a flyout. So we got to see where the flyout is. We'll call that a 1. So it's going to be a flyout to center field. Garland, the cleanup hitter for the Knights, is up. He is a lefty, so Alvarez is a -3 against a righty pitcher. Garland is a 5, so it's a +2 on the roll. That's going to make it a 5, which is a pitcher's card. A 10-9. All right, so this would be good. 10-9 is possibly a home run. You'll see that the -4 here says that if Alvarez throws the ball and Garland gets a piece of it, we have to compare this number to Garland's power rating, which is a 5. This is also a mechanic that's only in Pro and Advanced. If this were the basic game, if you get one of those reddish-orange boxes on the offensive side, it would automatically be a home run. But using the Pro or Advanced game, we're going to check to see if that's the outcome or not. So it's going to be a confrontation roll again. Power is a 5. He had a -4, so it's a +1 on the roll. 6 or above, it's a home run. 5 or below, it is a flyout. So Garland hits a home run. A +1 to 6 is a 7, which means that is a 2-run home run. So we have our first runs of the game here as Garland gets a piece of one. And Alcova scores on that shot. So it is 2-0 Knights with the shot by Garland. So we're having kind of a reversal here because honestly, I thought Alvarez would be the dominant pitcher in this game, and I thought Yates would give up more runs to the Drillers, but you never know. All right, so now we have Valenzuela up. Valenzuela is a righty hitter against a righty pitcher, so it's a -5 against a 3, which is a -2 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 9-1 is a strikeout, so it looks like Alvarez recovers a little bit and gets the strikeout. So that will end the first 3 innings of the game. Just to recap, kind of a pitcher's duel, not a whole lot to talk about. Alvarez got touched up in the bottom of the 3rd inning with Alcova leading off with a walk. The next 2 batters got out, and then Garland hit the big 2-run home run to put the Knights up against the Drillers heading into the 4th inning. We're going to take a break here. I am going to split them up a little bit, but that is the recap for the first 3 innings. If you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comments below, and stay tuned for the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings to come.